The Orange County Convention Center remembers Visit Orlando visionary Gary Sain.
Gary was the executive director of Visit Orlando, which is the marketing arm that really lets the world know about our tourism here, as well as the convention center and the trade shows that we have that come here from all across the world. But that's what he did, what Gary was to all of us. He was just this incredible ball of inspiration, enthusiasm, passion. We all know that Gary was devoted to his profession and his community, but I know that Gary's first love was his family. Whenever he spoke of his daughters and Pam, you could just see his eyes light up, and he spoke of you all the time.
All of us who have any measure of success in our lives, every man who has any measure of success in his life, has it because we've outmarried ourselves. And that is certainly true in Gary's case. He would tell you that if he were here. He told me that when he was here. His main asset, his main inspiration, and as the mayor said, his main love, and his main subject of conversation was his wife, Pamela Sain.
His philosophy was to work harder than the next person, be passionate in what you do, give it all you've got, never take anything for granted. Expect the unexpected. And his favorite slogan for our children were, choose wisely. They've heard those words many times.
Mayor Teresa Jacobs helped dedicate the Convention Center's Osprey Cafe to the late Mr. Sain, as many of the community's leaders came out to honor his legacy.
We are remembering him by dedicating this room, which is a room that we come, we have fellowship, we bring our biggest clients here, we entertain here, we dine here, we laugh here, all the things that makes us think of Gary and how much he meant to Visit Orlando, to Orange County, to tourism, to our convention center, and to all of us who knew him personally.
Everyone wants to live a life that lives longer than they do. And that's exactly the kind of life that Gary lived. It's not just that we'll never forget him, but because of him, we'll never forget what we ought to be doing.
Every day, every moment, he had an idea. He had his insane challenge to become more healthy, to do better in your life, and he shared that, and he wasn't shy about it. I think early in my life with Gary, sometimes I thought he was perhaps going a little bit too far. But you know what? He made me realize that maybe I wasn't going far enough, and that sometimes you have to set your goals beyond what you can achieve so that you will do better than you might first have expected. And I think that's the legacy of Gary Sain.
Gary was our leader for, in a very interesting transition time. So, he was able to come in, re-energize what we were doing. For me personally, working with him on the marketing side and launching the global campaigns, whether they were on the meeting side or on the leisure side, was fabulous. He had so much energy. We called him the Energizer Bunny, and he was just constantly challenging us, but also allowing us to do our best work.
Gary Sain's efforts led to Orlando being the first U.S. destination to reach 50 million visitors and brought Central Florida some of the world's largest conventions.
There was nothing about him that was in all overstated or arrogant or egotistical. I mean, he would work to get the smallest convention to visit somewhere in Central Florida. He had no fear whatsoever of going after the toughest, the largest one. I mean, obviously the work that he did in bringing plastics here, which was a multi-year effort that they had been 40 years in their previous location. So the issue with, the thing about Gary was, he was the perfect man for this job.
His personality, his persuasiveness, his enthusiasm convinced the executive director of the Plastics Association to really push to bring his clients here. And he absolutely loved welcoming people, bragging about what a great place Orange County is and Orlando is, and nobody did it better.